this is just the camel's nose under the tent. As soon as they lift off from the 3-story and all of the requirements that we've used to protect this community.
We're not anti-growth, however, we are for sensible growth.
Right.
And we sincerely believe this project is the wrong project for this site.
Now show me exactly the territories. And it goes from here, how far?
To here, to these trees.
To these trees, okay.
Right.
37 acres, and they want to put how much on it?
2.5 million square feet.
We got a picture if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Sure, let me see.
It's the artist idea.
What is this?
Yes.
And then there's our residences.
These are
office buildings and restaurants.
okay. And who are they supposed to be serving?
The freeway traffic.
Yes.
Whoever's got money.
Their intention is that there's 250,000 cars a day that drive by the freeway, and that's the main population that could financially support the project, because the neighborhoods would never, in their numbers, financially make that a viable location.
What do they want to take people out of Los Angeles and have them work here?
Yes.
Which would,
But not live here.
Well, they are telling us that they can live and work there.
But how many housing units are there?
It'll be expensive.
There would be
800 housing units and
800 housing units, yes.
okay, and then all of the square footage of office buildings.
Right.
I don't think that computes. I don't think that computes.
On top of that, there's only 2 corridors into this. There's
Yeah.
Lyons Avenue, which is up here, which you probably came down, and then there's Calgrove here. There's Calgrove here, and then you've got,
And this is the I-5.
which is right up here. So Calgrove is right here,
Gotcha.
and the street you drove in on
Yeah.
here is Wiley Canyon.
Gotcha.
And this is the only kind of horseshoe egress and ingress to this entire project.
Okay.
And to handle the daily traffic that would require to support this would be thousands of cars a day and customer base
Right.
to financially support this, which we were bringing an additional thousands of cars in through local neighborhood school zones and little neighborhoods. So it just cannot fit there, considering the respect and the nature of our area.
Okay, and how many people would they expect to come in and be working here during a day?
About 4,000.
4,000 people. So obviously, people are going to have to be commuting here.
Right,
And
largely.
they'll be commuting, where do they suspect they'll be coming from?
Probably all over Santa Clarita, Palmdale, Lancaster, perhaps, or the Valley.
Because, with the price of gasoline, what it is.
Exactly.
And the desire for us to reduce sprawl, I'm wondering, this doesn't seem to be a, live, work
Scenario.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, keep reading.
So the developers have basically shown total disregard for our neighborhood, stating that they must have 2.5 million square feet of development to justify the infrastructure to make this a profitable project for them. And this project is 212 times larger than the current zoning.
Our general plan does not allow for this development.
No, it's 800,000 square feet is what they could put on it.
Okay, and they say they can't make it go with 800,000 square feet. They want to quadruple the size.
And the reason they're saying that is because they have to deal with the Santa Monica Conservancy, fix the floodplain, and widen Wiley Canyon to 4 lanes plus a center divider.
Okay.
So they said, all these things are just not allowing them to keep within the zoning.
Gotcha. But there is going to be a new discussion about a general plan.
Right, and
this
we're
will be
all
part
really
of it.
worried about it.
Okay. So are the people of the community behind you?
Yes.
Right. And how about the members of the city council?
We don't know about the city
Yeah, it's hard
council.
to
They
say.
will not take a stand.
They did take a stand, though, against the Los Lomas project. Buck McKeon even took a stand. George Runner took a stand, and Cameron Smythe took a stand, public and officially. The Los Lomas project is on 550 acres. This is 6 times larger on 37 acres. And everyone was no on the Los Lomas project.
So why do you think there's a shift in, or is there a shift in their positions?
We don't know yet.
Here's a real concern of mine as a resident.
Yeah.
Is that I respect that when someone makes a real estate deal, they buy property, it's always a risk. And what's frustrating to me is they bought the property having to know the risks before they bought it. And they gambled that they would be able to go way beyond zoning, probably, to accomplish what they wanted.
Sure.
And what frustrates me would be that if the city or someone allows them to go forward with a project like that, that it's more of a government bailout to a developer's bad decision of buying a property.
They bought
And-
this at the height of the real estate.
Right, and I think that doing that would be grossly negligent, being on the backs of the residents that live all throughout this corridor here. No neighbors who can't even build an addition to their home without being turned down at every angle.
But you're looking for political consistency.
Very much so.
Why would you do that?
Right. Well, it's called the audacity of hope.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Do you have a strategy?
Our strategy is to get 3 council members behind us to vote no, okay, and to not set a precedence for these things happening throughout San Clarita County. We have actually gotten all of our 700 neighbors, into the coalition.
All right.
And anybody who will listen to our plight, okay, have
Right.
talked.
It's something that we may want to take a position on as the campaign progresses.
You know, when I was in the legislature, although I must confess this district is huge, and even my little Prius I'm filling up every 2 or 3 days here at 45 miles to the gallon. So I would say, just sort of in summary, this may be, I mean, they're using all the right words. They've got some senior housing, they've got some of this, they've got some of that. That's all great, but the scale is just not sustainable. And that may be, you get some good ideas, but you have to cut this project back. It just can't work as it's proposed. And you bought a piece of land in a floodplain. What the heck do you expect?
Let me also iterate that they have told us that if we do not approve this project, we will get a big box truck.
That was a threat.
That wasn't a threat to us.
You know what?
A, it's a threat, and B, I'll take the big box store. It's better than this.
They're talking smart growth principles, but this doesn't look like a very smart growth project. And, keep working on, try to go back to those old organizations that have in fact, been successful in the past, and say, if this happens today, your community's next tomorrow. Because it's what happens is that they change the rules, and it's your job
Sure.
as people who live here
Sure.
to say, you know what, we support that, but this is not the way. This isn't the answer. This may be the answer. And if they say, well,
Sure.
it's not.
Park.
Like a nice park. You know what? It's in a
That's what I've been
floodplain.
saying.
That's what
It's
I've
in
been
a
saying for years.
floodplain. You could have a
better.
recreational
A
facility.
floodplain.
You're doing all the right things here. And again, it isn't, we don't want any development, but
Right.
we want to
And
have,
that's-
this is a great opportunity to be the example for California as how we want to develop and grow. And this is just massive.
And how to create good collaborative citizen-to-city land use. Yeah.
But right now, I think the key is to focus on your city council and also get your community groups, so that when you have city council meetings, you got everybody there, standing room only, to reassert or reiterate what the goals are for our city, and let them know now as we go through this new general plan what we are and are not going to allow, so that they don't spend all this money and come back with a project that we are by definition not going to approve. So let's be good neighbors, give them the benefit of what our position is now. But if you need this because you're building a floodplain, maybe building a floodplain isn't the answer. And we think it's incumbent upon the city to just tell them, because we are going to fight hard to keep the personality of this community as it is. And this is contrary to that person. All development isn't inherently bad.
Right.
It's when you get overdevelopment and poorly established,
Over the top.
non-sustainable. But your real key is to go to the city, be reasonable, but have big numbers. This project, just the wrong place, the wrong project. And the fact that they're reducing the housing element but not reducing this other speaks to the fact that you're just going to have more and more cars and more and more cars, and that is totally contrary to the way we're trying to think smart.
Right.
It looks like Warner Center.
I mean, are they prepared to put in a public transit system to bring in people from all over the area who are going to feed these? I don't think so.
We've had 2 restaurants down the corner that have not even survived because they've just never been supported by even the locals. So it's where do they think they're going to get the traffic and the wallets to come onto the property to spend money, other than having gourds of people coming off the freeway?
And again, you know, check this area for air quality. And I think the biggest key, because you know we're all kind of community-based, is to say to the rest of the community, this is just the camel's nose under the tent. As soon as they lift up from the 3-story and all of the requirements that we've used to protect this community, you know, let them build something. But if they can't afford to build a more modest proposal, then don't build in a floodplain.
Right.
It has to be very reflective of the nature of our area.
Yeah.
And that's period to me.
Good point. People moved here to get away from that. This is what Santa Clarita is. No, this is where we escaped to.
But this is just
And
bad.
here we are. It's following us.
Well, I think you certainly sound like you've got that level of, you know, political experience and know what to do next. But I would love to keep me posted. And as I said,
Should we just stay in touch with you?
yes, all right, yes, that, and
Couldn't pull out.
yeah, no, my pleasure. I'm glad